My 27M girlfriend, 33F, has stopped using deodorant as a stance against Big Pharma. This should be a short post, but I do need help because I wanna fix this. My girlfriend suffers from high-functioning autism and isn't traditionally intelligent. So she educates herself on social issues, but she doesn't always use reputable sources. So she read an article about how Big Pharma has been poisoning and clogging the glands of your armpit with deodorant. So she stopped using it. Another important note is that she doesn't shave to stick it to the patriarchy. We live Arizona and this has been literally miserable. She loves to cuddle, hug, and lay together, but every time we get close the stench of BO is just overwhelming. She noticed and confronted me and I told the truth. She wasn't very happy and told me that this was her way to stay safe and make a difference. To avoid further conflict I just dropped it. Since then it's getting worse. She's on her way to tossing out body wash and making her own. While I like this idea, she's made no effort to learn about the process. Is there any way I can convince her to let this go? I don't think that this is a hill worth dying on. Educate her on natural alternatives. While you're right in this case, I would be weary if I were op. This time it's Big Pharma and deodorant. What if next time it is Big Pharma and vaccines, including the flu shot or a potential COVID-1? The quickness to listen to this article and change her life because of it is the bigger issue here. So, there are tons of small independent businesses that make their own deodorants. So she could be ethical, while supporting local, small businesses. Which is an even bigger middle finger to Big Pharma, and a way to make a difference. Tell her that you love her, but BO isn't nice, and buy her some products that are natural and from small local businesses. Also, there are bigger ways to impact Big Pharma. Not wearing deodorant achieves literally nothing. If she wants to impact them, then she should be voting, attending protests, etc. There are tons of deodorant alternatives out there. And if all of that bothers you, then you don't have to be around it. You are entitled to your own comfort and can make your own choices. She really can't get mad at you for being turned off, or expect you to just be okay with it. You can still offer support to someone for their choices, but that doesn't mean you need to be subjected to it if you're not comfortable with it. You can be against Big Pharma and also wear deodorant. Aluminium is what is in antiperspirants. There are plenty of natural deodorant options. There are natural deodorants out there. No reason to be funky, lol. I, M25, think my girlfriend, F24, was sexually assaulted by my friend, M27. Let me just preface this by saying, no, I do not know for certain that my girlfriend was sexually assaulted by my friend Jack. This all just speculation. I've been with my girlfriend, Anna, for almost 2 years. Before we started dating, Jack definitely had a thing for Anna. We were mutual friends at this point. I think Anna was mostly oblivious to all of it. It was harmless flirting, and when Anna caught on and politely rejected his advances, he backed off when she rejected him, and eventually stopped altogether, the compliments etc. When we started dating, ironically, Jack and I became closer friends after Anna and I started dating. Right before everything went to shit, Jack invited us for a small 4-day retreat at his parents' beach house. It would be Jack, Jack's girlfriend Lisa, Anna and I. We agreed to go, and Lisa and Anna get along fine and it's pretty good. There were a couple times where Jack and Anna were probably alone together. I just remember the night on the 3rd day when my girlfriend was begging me to go home earlier than usual. At the time, she said that she was feeling sick, without showing other symptoms, but we rented a car and left early in the morning. Back then, I had apologized to Jack. She was still pretty shaken up after 2 weeks. I assumed that she was sick, but she would flinch if I touched her unexpectedly, always be hyper aware, and always apologize for things that weren't her fault / had no control over. After those 2 weeks, I confronted her about her behavior, gently. I was asking if she was okay, and she said that she was okay, just stressed. I thought that was an acceptable answer that made sense, and I didn't think much of it. It's been about 8 months since the trip and she hasn't really been herself. The hyper-awareness, tape flinching, the panic attacks, The random apologies stopped happening frequently, but they still do pop up in full force from time to time. She's still in therapy, so I know that she's bettering her mental health. Our sex life is practically non-existent. The first big red flag is when I noticed that she was picking up way more house chores than usual. Anu enjoys cleaning, but it's never been at this rate. Every time I try to do my share, she insists on letting me relax as a way to make it up to me. Sure, it was sweet the first 2 times, but now it's making me worry. Second red flag, we were watching a movie and things started to get intimate and very heated. When I was trying to unbutton her shorts, she started crying. I immediately stopped and just comforted her. She later explained that she wasn't ready for sex at the moment, which I completely respect. Third red flag, I mentioned something vague about Jack and she went white. I wanted him to help us move out, but she was so adamant on not having Jack with us and almost cried. Now, I'm stuck and writing this post. Edit, thank you so much for all the responses. I've looked through most of them, looked through differing viewpoints, and had a look through you/EB45 resources. I've decided that the best course of action is to not confront Jack about the trip, about what did or did not happen. I personally cannot see the confrontation going anywhere but south. I've decided to stop talking to Jack for now. If he did do anything to make her feel unsafe, uncomfortable, or powerless, then it's much better for me to drop him. On the small chance that Anna cheated on me with Jack, then Jack was not a good friend to begin with. One of her love languages is definitely service, so I've been trying to show her I love her using her love language. I've stopped trying to get her to stop cleaning, because sometimes, the way she releases stress is through cleaning everything, and if cleaning is her coping mechanism, I wouldn't want to take it away from her. However, I have began to gently let her know that she doesn't have to make it up to me. Currently, I'm leaving small notes of appreciation everywhere for her. It's not much, but I hope it shows her that I will care for her and support her no matter what. She's had experiences with sexual assault in the past, and she tells me that usually, no one believed her. I hope she trusts me enough to tell me what happened that night. It's not much of an update, but that's what's happened so far. Thank you for all the awards. I have to tell you, it doesn't look good. Think that you might be right about this. You have to be very gentle with her. If she doesn't feel ready to tell you now, you shouldn't push her. But you have to let her know that whatever happens, you will always be there for her and support her 100%. Limit your contacts with your friend. Make it very clear to your girl that you don't trust him and that you don't want him in your lives going forward. That might help her open up. She might be trying to protect you from losing a friendship by not telling you about what happened to her. So be proactive. Whatever you do, don't do anything about it without consulting her first. Don't confront him, don't try to talk about it to other friends, nothing. If she had her agency violated and her choice taken away from her in such a horrible way, it might further her trauma to have the situation escape from her. Good luck. Keep us updated. I just want to start off by saying how lucky your GF is to be with such an intuitive and intelligent person. Lots of people wouldn't join the dots and or notice anything. Second, I think your instinct is correct. Being a woman that has experienced sexual assault, the signs that you have spoken about sound very much like something happened that she didn't want to happen between her and your friend. I would suggest gently trying to talk to her about it. She may not be ready to let you know, or she might feel like it's a weight off her chest to open up to you and have your support. Then there's the matter of your friend. Can you speak to him about it? I hope this doesn't sound bad, but often in situations like this, guys will downplay their involvement or make it out like the woman wanted it as much as they did. I can tell you now, from the way you have described her behavior following the trip, 100, your GF was assaulted. People don't exhibit trauma and post-trauma symptoms from nothing happening. Think about what your bottom line is when it comes to friendship and whether you'll want to continue being friends with him and what kind of signal that will send to your GF. Good luck. I hope your GF can open up to you. Smiley face. I can certainly see why you think Jack assaulted her. From the picture you just painted, that seems likely. I'm really sorry you and Anna are going through this, and I want to commend you for being a supportive BF who's been gentle and patient and wants to help her. Seriously, Many guys would have made this about them or found other theories. She's lucky to have you. That said, I think it's probably time for you to be a little more inquisitive as to what's going on with her. I don't mean forcing her to talk if she's not ready, but being more forthcoming about the fact that you are worried about her, that you've noticed that she hasn't been herself since that trip, and that you care about her and she can tell you anything. Only say that last bit if you mean it, but I get the feeling you would mean it. Make her feel as safe, secure and loved as possible, but gently encourage her to open up to you. She may very well think she's holding it together convincingly and you're blissfully unaware, or she could be terrified that you'd side with Jack and blame her. Many women experience that reaction in this kind of situation, and the last thing victims want to do is be blamed and lose the people they care about. Reassure her that you are on her side no matter what. If she was assaulted, it may be a huge relief to her to open up to you, so she's not stuck in her head constantly worried that you'll find out and leave her. I wish you the best of luck with this sucky situation. I think your intuition may be spot on. She's also doing things like apologizing and the extra cleaning to make it up to you, because if you're right, then she likely feels some guilt over this. It is not her fault. But a man who is capable of doing such a thing to a woman would also mess with her head, probably even say things to her like "I'll say you wanted it and he will believe me." She needs to heal and cope, and you should try to talk to her about it, but if she isn't ready yet, that's okay. Also, never force someone or guilt them into going to the police about an abuser. That can sometimes even put them into more danger. And honestly, not much can be done without DNA or video proof, blackmail evidence, or a witness telling her story again, potentially having medical assessments. It's a form of PTSD and reliving the trauma all over again that some survivors do not feel capable of dealing with, and that needs to be understood and met with compassion. For people saying she has to go to the police or "I'd tell the police if I were you," they have no right to say such things, because they don't know, they weren't there, and they really can't know what they would do in someone else's shoes. Just throwing that out there. Talk to her, but most of all, listen, don't push her, and comfort her while she heals. My M22 girl F22 rend of 5 years has went from £140 to £220 in the last 3 years. I've tried to be as respectful as possible, but I have no idea what to do anymore. The title says it all. My girlfriend has gained £80 in the last few years. When we first started dating, she ate okay, but she was consistently going to the gym. I know she has depression, and I know it came back. She doesn't cook, clean, has absolutely no routine, and just won't do anything without me asking, and then gets mad. It's as if she just doesn't care anymore. Just comes home and doesn't leave the couch. She knows she's getting very unhealthy and it makes her upset, but she won't do anything about it, so it's a constant cycle. I'm just at a loss and can't keep feeling like I'm taking care of a 22-year-old. We both work all day, come home at the same time. I start some chores, but she just goes and sits on her phone. I've tried to talk to her and be nice, but she fights and denies anything is wrong. I just don't know what to do. It's not bad to leave someone because they are depressed. It's not your mental illness to have to deal with. It may also work as a wake-up call for her to see how much all of this is bothering you. Could you convince her to take nightly walks with you after you both have dinner? You could make it kind of romantic by holding her hand and such. You'd be surprised how beneficial even an exercise as simple as walking is to depression. It isn't your responsibility to make other people accept their responsibilities. It sounds like you've already had some very clear conversations with her about this, and they have not gone anywhere. The question you have to ask yourself is simple. Is this behavior something that I am willing to end the relationship over? That single yes or no will tell you a lot about your next steps. If yes, say so. I am doubting the future of our relationship at this point. I've tried communicating with you about how your lack of involvement in our home life or taking care of yourself hurts, and I don't feel I have any other options left on how to express that to you. If no, say so. I'm committed to getting through this, but I am not comfortable with your fighting and denial anymore on how you're not taking care of yourself or contributing to taking care of our home. It's important for me that we both take care of our responsibilities in this relationship. What can we do to work toward that? Regardless of how you feel about it, you deserve better than to be treated as a foregone conclusion. If she's suffering from mental health issues, then she needs to pursue professional help. Continuing to just hope it gets better clearly isn't working for her or you. I was your girlfriend. Her depression is clearly in a really bad place and she knows it, and I'm guessing she knows it's taking a toll on you, which makes her feel worse. It can feel like an impossible task to put even one foot forward. Does she have friends/support system? Is she seeing a therapist? If you are her only support system, I can imagine it will continue to wear on you more. It is exhausting to be the only person in someone's life and to feel responsible for their happiness. I think you need to consider what is best for yourself right now. You both deserve to be happy, and you should think about whether that means staying together or going your separate ways.